Present.
And is that, there we go. Hey, all right. We're in business.
Go ahead, Gary, again, sorry.
Anyhow, we have 6 members present. A quorum will be 4, I believe. A quorum will, in fact, be 4, and the members are, 6 of us are here, and 1 is missing. And we do not have our council liaison, Councilman Steve Shishka, present, nor our planning manager, George Worley, but we do have Kat Moody here.
Members present at this meeting are Tony Teeters, Christy Hastings, Michael Mirko, Mike King, Robert Burford, and Gary Edelbrock, the chair. This is an open public hearing and is being videotaped and tape recorded by the city. The proceedings are being televised by representatives of the public media, local cable and or radio stations, and may be rebroadcast. The number of the commission members present are 6 and will require 4 votes for a majority. All parties wishing to be heard on an issue are required to raise their hands and be recognized by the chairman prior to speaking. Speakers will be expected to state their name and address for the record so that we may know who is speaking and will be able to contact them at a later date if necessary. Please turn off any cell phones or electronic devices if you haven't already done so. Please sign the attendance roster before leaving the meeting. Thank you. Kat Moody, Historic Preservation Specialist, will be speaking.
For the record, Councilman Billy Orr, and I believe you may be here for Steve Shishka. So Billy Orr is here as a council liaison. Welcome.
The first item up on the irregular agenda is the approval of the minutes for the September 8th, 2017 meeting.
Have
Chairman?
you all had an opportunity to read the meetings? Is there any additions or changes you wish to make? May we have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the minutes of the August 11th meeting.
Signify by raising your right hand if there's no objections. Passes 6-0.
Next item on the regular agenda is HP 17-013, 123 South Mount Vernon Avenue in the Historic Preservation District 13, Southeast Prescott, APN 110-01050A. Request approval for window replacements, siding, and front porch addition. Kat Moody presenting.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As indicated, this is a request for window replacements, siding, and a front porch roof addition. And this house is in the East Prescott National Register Historic District and part of the Southeast Prescott Historic Preservation District. The house is not currently listed in the register. It was ineligible due to, in part to the siding changes that had taken place. The house has recently been purchased and we have a new owner, and they're wishing to take steps to improve the house and make it re-eligible for the National Register. So a lot of this work is headed in that direction. So the first item, and just as some background, this was the home of Sherman Hazeltine. He lived in this house with his family from the 30s into the 50s. He was the youngest son of Moses B. Hazeltine, whose house is at the corner of Mount Vernon and Goodwin, on the southwest corner of Mount Vernon and Goodwin. And he followed his father into the banking business. They were both bankers in town. So the first set of work we're going to look at is the window replacement. And so this is a diagram of the residence. This is Mount Vernon Avenue here on this side. And I've color-coded this to indicate the two window types that are looking at being used here. The pink, which are on the front facade and the visible portions of the home, are going to be a wood window with a exterior aluminum cladding. So I have a cross section just because people who are unfamiliar with that may want to take a look at that. So the actual wood window construction is wood, and then there's usually a powder-coated, pre-finished aluminum cladding, which enables less maintenance for the exterior of the window and produces a very long life for the window without a lot of maintenance. And so those windows are going to be the style that's currently in the home. So many of them are a single hung or double hung, and some are casements. So there's some casements there as well. And then in the rear of the house, in the green, those are proposed to be a vinyl window that will be the exterior finish will match the wood window exterior finish so that there's not visually a huge difference. Those are going in portions of the home that are additions that have happened over the years. The front portion of the home is original, and the rear portion has been added onto through the years. The next item to look at is the siding. And I do have a shot from the architect's plans. So you can see here, they did a little exploratory removal of the siding. There was a T111, which you can see here on this portion of the photo, and this is in your full-size plan set. And then they've removed some of the siding to see what was underneath. And it was originally a horizontal wood siding. They want to apply a new horizontal wood siding, which is a drop pattern pine siding. And this will be a painted siding. And so this is an 8-inch by 1-inch siding. And this is the drop pattern you see here. And I've got a couple of other shots where you can look across it and kind of see that creates a shadow line between the various boards and creates a little bit of texture, so really emphasizing that horizontality of the siding element. And then the final item being proposed is a front porch roof. And so this camera angle indicated here was where the camera was positioned when this photo was taken. So this is looking across the area that they are proposing to place a front porch. So this is a roof that's 22 feet long and comes out 8 feet, which holds it back from this front elevation of the house. This is a shot of how the house sits on the site. So this is Mount Vernon here at the bottom. You can see you've got this projected front room here, and then this is the proposed porch right here, kind of recessed back. And here's a elevation that shows the style of the framing here with some slight ornament, not heavily ornamented. This house doesn't have heavy ornamentation on it. So this simple corbel detail here is actually fitting with the rather, simple ornamentation that's currently on the house. So this is a fairly flat pitch roof that will get tucked in and ledgered to the current elevation of the house. And here is a view from the north elevation. So this is similar to what that camera angle would have been. So you can see that this is creating it's not elevated above the existing roof line and just creates this sheltered front porch area. And the applicants are here, and with that, I will turn it over to you all for discussion and questions.
Would you step forward, either one or both?
My name is Logan Franks. This is my wife, Terry. Good morning.
Can you identify your address? We know where.
123 South Mount Vernon.
Thank you very much. Any of the commission members have questions or anything?
I don't know that you made it absolutely clear, Kat, that they really do want to put the new siding over the old. In other words, it's not a
Yeah, it's going
restoration.
over the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody understands that. Yeah, okay.
And then I had a question. I noticed the tree in the photo and the tree in the plan. Is that tree going to be pruned up or stay in place, or is it
We don't
miss
believe
the
it's
roof?
going to be able to stay there. It's an apricot tree that we would like to keep, but I don't believe it's possible. And we chose a porch over the tree at this point.
Okay, so it's a kind of ornamental fruit tree or?
It is. It's an apricot tree.
Okay.
Anyone else?
The roof line, I do have one question. The roof line of the porch roof will be on top of the existing, not tucked under.
It has to attach at that, just above the
Gutter
eave line.
system, yeah.
You'll have to remove some roofing, and the trusses will have to come back and attach, and then re-roofed right there. It's going to be as close to flat as possible, but it still has to drain.
Yeah, sure.
So there'll be the drain will be up in the front, reattached after we,
This is the
Put the patio on.
framing.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
I didn't see it.
yep.
All right.
Anyone else? Mr. Teeter? Nope, I'm good. And we'll call for the vote.
Thank you.
One other thing, will there be a skirting of some sort on the bottom, or just,
I don't believe so, not from what I understand from the architect that drew it. There's going to be a copper wrap at each
Yeah.
column post, and I'm hopeful that the footing will be just barely above grade. I'm looking at the drawings for the
So
second
they're
time.
calling out the sandstone base.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the sandstone base will be visible. The copper wrap will be minimal. There'll be an 8-foot distance from the home, concrete, new slab. So your chairs will have something to sit on instead of the dirt. Right now, there's a flagstone walkway that'll be removed, redialed in, and stay at 0 grade. So say grade's 100, that'll be the elevation of the concrete. We don't want to elevate it.
Do you have a timeline to complete?
I've been led to believe that a 2-year limit would be the permit duration. I would be hopeful I could do it significantly quicker than that. However, I'm not in total control of that. I'm a steel erector out of the valley and up here, so sometimes I get a little bit too busy, and I'm doing most of this, if not all of it, myself. There'll be a couple of other contractors involved with a lot of the work. So yeah, I would think that less than 2 years is the goal. Significantly less would be my opinion, but
We'd like to do it in a year. That's inside and out, everything.
there's a lot of work that's happening. All the plumbing's coming out, all the electrical's also coming out. You're aware of that, right? Mm-hmm. So before we get the permit, we have to get with the electrician, the plumber, and the gas water heater, and just make sure that all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted.
The
And
insulation guy.
insulation's already been removed a significant amount, which, so we got our demo permit already. So yeah, we're hopeful that we can do it in less than the 2 years that are allowed, significantly.
For the record, we've been joined by George Worley. Anyone else?
Thank you, Kat.
Sure.
For all the help.
We have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to move that we approve agenda item HP 17013, which is a request for approval of window replacement siding and a front porch addition at 123 South Mount Vernon.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to second that motion.
We have a motion that's been made and seconded. Can we have a vote? Signify by raising your right hand. It appears that you've been approved 6-0. Good luck on your project.
I'd like to make a little comment here. I've watched, this property is right next door to me, and I've watched the disintegration, the deterioration of that property for about 20 years, and I couldn't be happier with the hands that this beautiful old home is in right now. I know that Logan is extremely competent, and they've been very careful checking out things before making any, before doing anything, and I think it's just exactly the sort of thing that this commission is just very happy to see.
Thank you. And just a commercial, you chose your architect well.
We believe that's a true statement, yes.
Thank you very much.
We got a hold of the right person to begin with before we even purchased the place, so can't.
They've been very proactive, yeah.
Well, she knows her business. Is there anything else?
I just wanted to make an announcement, and I've placed these maps up here on the podium, and boy, that looks dark. Let me see if I can fix that. That didn't do a whole lot for us. Just a moment. We have a reflective, there. So this is the new Trails and Recreation map, and I realize this is not a historic preservation issue, but I wanted to make the announcement because the map comes out of my office, and these came out last week. And part of what we do is this map actually gets produced, reprinted every 6 months. And every time we reprint, we put new trails on the map. And when we reprint, we often feature different things on the back side of the map that represent the newest elements in the trail system. So in this case, we have a couple of panels here. These are examples of some of the maps that are out at the Pioneer Park trailheads. And they have created a color-coded trail marker system. And that's in this photo here. On these trail markers, there's different colored arrows. And at each trailhead, there's 6 of these maps at a much larger scale. They're quite small here. You can't really use them here. They're just a representation of the new trail marking system that is available out at Pioneer Park. And so you can choose, the red loops are all 2-mile loops out of each trailhead. There's a single track loop. There's this is a different 5-mile single track loop. So just wanted to make you aware of that. The maps are available at the trailheads. They're also available at the sponsors, which are featured on this section of the map. And the sponsors pay for the printing of this. So all costs for the printing of the map are through the sponsors. And then the other trail that we're featuring is the new realignment of the Ranch Trail and an under construction section that is a reroute that will become part of the Circle Trail here that's a Badger Mountain Trail extension. And that's under construction currently. So just wanted to make you aware that the new maps are out, so you can pick them up and you can get them here.
Any updates on the state convention?
We covered that last, yes, right. There is an update, thank you. So the next year's Historic Preservation statewide conference is going to be held in Scottsdale. I know. We were hoping we would get it next year. So it will be at the Valley Ho, which is a mid-century modern Scottsdale hotel and conference center. But they do intend to work towards coming to Prescott in 2019. So I've been assured that we will be the following year. So
Thank you.
we're in the queue. So, yeah, so unfortunately, we didn't make the 2018 conference.
Well, we're still in the running.
Yeah, so that's the update, and that's all I have.
Thank you very much.
I do have one question.
Uh-huh.
There's a home on the corner of Pleasant and Willis. It would be the northwest corner. I'm not sure of the address, but it's another home that they've taken all the siding down. They're gutting the inside, replacing windows. Is this something that we don't know about, or? we do know?
That is outside of a historic preservation overlay district, so the districts you all review only extend, in this case, the Mount Vernon, Pleasant, Union, that all is south of Gurley Street. The districts north of Gurley are National Register districts, but they don't come before this commission. They come across my desk, and I review the plans and let people know if they're going to do something that will take a house off the National Register. I'm actually going to be driving by that house today. That's on my list of things to do. But they basically are in the National Register, but they aren't under the purview of this commission. We have a lot more properties in the National Register that don't come before this board because there's only certain districts that actually get reviewed by this commission. So you see Pinecrest, historic homes at Hacienda, South Mount Vernon, South Pleasant, Union Street, Courthouse Plaza, the Elks, Hacienda, Armory, and Smoke Eye Museum. So, and then a few other dotted, individual properties here and there.
Anything else?
Nope.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay.
Second?
Mr. Chairman?
We have a motion to adjourn our meeting, and I believe it's now 8:23. Meeting adjourned.
Easy peasy.